Let's talk about Strange Darling. The summary says nothing is what it seems when a twisted one night stand turns into a serial killer's murder spree. There, it is bloody, there are twists, and it is boringer than a bitch. Every time I review a movie in my car, it's because I hated it. Shout out to the American Society of Magical Negroes and Civil War. Willa Fitzgerald, the actress, she did a terrific job. She was slack-jawed half the time in the movie, but that's not like me getting on her for that. She was slack-jawed for half the movie, but she did an incredible job. Her final scene is just a masterpiece. I loved it. I love her performance, and Kyle Gallner was good too. If you're looking for something decent to watch, I suggest you go see Blink Twice instead of this movie. And Blink Twice has its issues, but let's get into the specifics of Strange Darling. So if you're actually interested in this movie and you don't want to be spoiled, now's the time for you to save this and come back later. So in Strange Darling, a man ignores all types of red flags for the promise of sex. There is literally a line of dialogue in the movie that says something on the lines of like men will put up with anything or wait however long for the promise of sex. So he's with this woman, a stranger that he met at a bar, and her thing is consensual, non-consensual, which the choice for that to be her kink and also make her a serial killer is interesting, but okay. So that's her thing, and you know, they talk about safe words and stuff like that, but the thing is, she switches up on him multiple times without his consent. But that's not enough for him to walk away because he's waiting to get to, you know, what he wants. When he finally does have enough, that's when she pounces. Because the twist is that she is a serial killer. Now, it's revealed pretty early on. So first of all, that scene in the car where she talks about how dangerous it is for women like her, women who want to have one night stands, you know, who are okay with like not tying emotions to sex and stuff like that, but specifically one night stands is dangerous for women like her because, you know, a lot of men are violent, they're risking life, they could die, and she's like, so tell me, you know, answer me this, like, are you a serial killer? That monologue was not believable. And I don't know if it was supposed to fool everyone in the audience, but to me, and actually one of the reasons why I wanted to check out this movie is because I watched one trailer very recently that suggested that, to me, it suggested like this man goes after her. I did believe he's a serial killer, but he might be in for more than he bargained for. So that attracted me to it. But when she said that line, I was like, I don't believe you. It sounded fake to me, like she was lying. And so there's that. When she kills that man, the mountain man, in the kitchen, that's when I was like, oh, she's the killer. Like, she's the one who's the bad guy here. But before that, I was wondering if like this whole chase thing was like part of her kink, because I picked up that like something was wrong with her. But when she kills that man, I realized that like, okay, she's the bad guy. And the only thing left for me to know was like, why is he chasing her? And then they revealed what she did to him. But it was one of those movies where like I was watching like this in the theater. Like I didn't even cock up my chair, and I didn't even realize that until I was leaving. But I was watching like this, like just waiting to get to the conclusion because the movie is not exciting. El, the electric lady, she's the main character, which is fine, but like I think she says towards the end that like the cop asked her why did she kill all those people, and she says that I couldn't really hear. I think she said sometimes I don't see people, I see tunnels. Is that what she said? Somebody correct me. And there are instances where, you know, she seems to like go somewhere before she snaps, but like her motivation is she just kills people. I mean, a lot of it is like extenuating circumstances because she's trying to get away from the man who is credited as the demon, but is actually a sheriff. But you know, he's a sheriff. He doesn't matter. El doesn't matter. The victims don't matter. It's just a what if the roles were reversed ass movie, and I'm just left like, my usual reaction to like what if the roles were reversed type conversations is like, and what if the roles were reversed? And I think EL's disregard for human life is supposed to be impressive, but this is not my first rodeo. I also think there's something ironic about the fact that, like, I also think her killing all these people is also supposed to be impressive because she's a woman doing it, which, okay. The most exciting thing about this movie for me is when I realized that all three of the people who didn't fall for that white woman's bullshit, that her damsel in distress I'm bloody bullshit, all three of the people who didn't fall for it were people of color. It was 2 women of color and 1 man of color who didn't fall for her shit. And I also like that when the woman, she seems to be Native American, or South American, or both, when she, you know, got the draw on EL before EL could get her, EL was smiling at her like, well, look at you, not falling for my bullshit. Respect. She seemed to like respect the fact that the lady didn't fall for her shit. And like I said, I loved the prolonged dying scene. I love the way that played. But that's the movie. Like, the very first thing I wrote in my notes after it ended was, girl, what? Girl, what? And that's it. I give it 1 star because nobody failed at acting. That's always what I say when I give a movie 1 star. Nobody failed at acting. Let me know what you thought of Strange Darling.